On episode 368 of Nintendo SwitchCraft, we've got new hardware announced, a popular game gets a surprising physical version, and Luigi Mansion gets a spooky release date.
Hey y'all, this is James Thomas Lewis II, but you can call me Jamie, and you are listening to Nintendo SwitchCraft.
SwitchCraft is brought to you live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Tune in live over at twitch.tv/runjumpstomp. This episode of SwitchCraft is made possible by patrons like Rascal. Get SwitchCraft and my other content ad-free for as little as $1 over at patreon.com/runjumpstomp. You can leave a voicemail like we had at the beginning of the show by heading on over to runjumpstomp.com/voicemail. You leave a message there from any device, and I may even play it on the show. Oh my goodness, we've got a whole bunch of news to talk about today. I want to start with a hardware announcement that is honestly, a lot of the stuff that I'm going to talk about today is not going to be a surprise to anyone. That should really be the title of the show. Nintendo surprises no one, because let's just talk about it. First off, we've got a new, do you guys remember that change request with the FCC? Nintendo put out, so they announced the Switch Lite, and then kind of as a small thing, they also said, hey, FCC, you mind if we change the chipset in the OG Switch? Well, apparently that has been approved because the Switch is getting a model revision. Now, immediately there's going to be people who are like, whoa, does that mean that we're getting the Switch Pro? No, this is not the Switch Pro. This is the Switch that you already have. They're just putting the same chip that's in the Switch Lite in this. They're putting the same memory that's in the Switch Lite in this. Ostensibly because they're more efficient and probably cost less to make. Okay? So what does this mean for the OG Switch that is now the new G Switch, if you know what I mean? Like, we're talking about a Switch that has the removable Joy-Cons and all the, like, it's dockable. It's got the removable Joy-Cons. It will have HD rumble. So it's just like the old Switch. So what is the difference? So the original one was model number HAC001. And if you have that one, then the serial number will start with XAW. So I'm looking at mine. And if you look on the back of a Switch, right there on the bottom, I don't think my camera will focus on it that close. Anyway, it says HAC001, and that's the one that gets, that's the one that we've had since March 3rd, 2017. It gets approximately 2.5 to 6.5 hours of battery life, depending on what game you're playing. The new one, model number HAC001-01, this one will be models where the serial number begins with XKW instead. So it used to start with XAW. Now the serial numbers will start with XKW. And that's going to have a better battery life, 4.5 to 9 hours. Of course, depending on what games you play. So what is the difference here? Is it going to have a new battery? And the answer to that is no. It is not going to have a new battery. Let's take a look at the actual technical specifications of the Nintendo Switch console. And you can get this by going to nintendo.com/switch/tech-specs. All right. So the Nintendo Switch console, everything is the same right up until you get to the battery life. So right down here, it tells you that same stuff that it tells us before, but that I already said. But it says here the internal battery for both systems, both the HAC001 and the HAC001-01, they both contain the same 4,310 milliamp hour battery. So they didn't change out the battery. They just put in a more efficient chip. And this is the same chip. I assume that this is the same chip that's going into the Switch Lite. The reason that the Switch Lite has a better battery life than the OG Switch is because the Switch Lite has this new chip, which is just a more efficient chip. It can process things easier without using up so much processing power or so much battery power. And that's the big advantage here, is that on a portable system, you want to have very efficient chipsets. So that's what we're getting with the new Switch. There's literally no other differences. It's just a new chipset, the new system on a chip that uses less battery life. And that's awesome, because having a battery life of 4.5 to 9 hours is a pretty significant improvement. Now, I did get people say, hey, Bill, do you think that this takes away the one advantage of having the Switch Lite? And I would say, no, I don't think so, because the Switch Lite is for a different audience than the Switch Prime, I guess. I don't know what to call the thing. The original Switch, that is for the people who already have it. And the Switch Lite is for people who portability is the most important factor. Battery life being better, I mean, that's good. But yeah, the battery life on the new Switch, the XKW Switch, like the battery life on that one is even better. So I think that there definitely will be people who were going to get a Switch Lite, but instead they may trade in their old Switch for a new Switch, only because battery life is the most important thing to them. And to those, I think that there's room in the market for both the new version of the Nintendo Switch and the Switch Lite. I think there's plenty of room in the market for both of those things, because they are for different people. And everybody's going to look at the options and weigh things differently and make a decision based on that. The same way that you can go to there's room in the market for Apple to sell an iPhone 7, a 7 Plus, a 7S Plus, an iPhone 8, all the way up to the iPhone 11 later this year. Like, there's room in the market for Apple to sell all of those things, because they're for different people. Different people put priority on different things, different features. And because of that, they're going to choose the one that best suits them. Now, when I saw this morning, I tweeted, where's my tweet? I can't find it. Maybe if I go back to my show notes. Sorry about that. I got too many windows open, because sometimes I'm dumb. Okay, so I tweeted this morning, and actually we'll go to the feedback right now. I said, do you think the new Nintendo Switch model with the better battery life is worth upgrading to? Not the Switch Lite. Reply with your reasons. I will read them on the show. 83% of people said no, and 17% of people said yes. Now, for those 17 people, to them it's worth it, and to the other people it's not. And it doesn't mean that either group of these people is wrong. Mikey B. Playin replied. He said, the only game that shut off on me due to battery was Xenoblade 2, which was probably doing me a favor. I might get it and sell my original Switch to a friend. That's Club Nintendork. Julian Sharp says, not for me. I mainly play in docked mode and would be more interested in a pro model with a bigger, higher resolution screen, faster processor, and all that jazz. And to reply to that, I don't anticipate that we're going to get the Switch Pro, or actually, I don't think that they would call it the Switch Pro. I think that they would call it the new Nintendo Switch, or the Switch XL. And even if it had more power, I think that the more power would only be to have a 1080p screen, like maybe increase the screen size, get rid of some of these bezels. And once you get rid of the bezels and increase the screen size, then maybe upgrade the screen in this to 1080p. And if you've got a more efficient chip, then maybe that will last the 2.5 to whatever hours that the current Switch lasts. But I don't think that we're going to get that this year. Probably next year if we do. I think that it's good for Nintendo to space this stuff out, especially for their bottom line, because there's going to be a lot of people who go out and they're going to buy the Switch Lite, and then the next year Nintendo's going to announce the new Nintendo Switch Pro XLI DS 3D, and there's going to be people who say, "Oh, okay, well I wanted the Switch Lite for these reasons, but this theme's really cool too, so I'm going to get that." And if they release them all at the same time, then people would make that decision once and be done with it. So I think that Nintendo, they know how to manipulate the handheld market very, very well. All right. Let's see. Nakashima says, I replied no. As for my own situation, it'd be unnecessary. If someone travels a lot, however, it would be totally worth it. Keep kids happy on long rides. Keep yourself happy on a plane. And for me, I think that the Switch Lite is more marketed towards kids because it has fewer moving parts. And this is another reason why the Switch and the Switch Lite, even though the more battery life on the new Switch has, better battery life, I still think that there's room for both products, because when I look at the Switch Lite, I think of it as something that's a little more robust, a little more prone to surviving accidents, because it has less moving parts, smaller screen, lighter, and you can, all of these things together, unibody enclosure, all of these things together say that this thing is going to stand up to the punishment that a 6 or 7-year-old will throw at it. While an adult who paid $300 for a piece of electronics, they're going to treat it a little more gently. I don't take my Switch anywhere without a case. Ever. I never take my Switch outside of my house without bringing a case with me. And not only for one reason, it carries all my games in it, but secondly, I just want to protect it. It was a big investment. $300 is a lot of money, and I don't want to break that thing. Let's see. Mark Miller says, much easier to get one of those Nintendo official extended batteries that will charge it 10 times over for less hassle. That's true. You could just buy an extended battery. So I've got an extended battery here that actually doesn't work right now. I've got to call the manufacturer and see if they can tell me what's wrong with it. But I've got an extended battery here that I've used in the past to charge the Switch up. And my wife took my son to Pennsylvania on a trip while I was away for work once, and they brought this, and they were able to recharge his Switch multiple times while they were on the car ride, which is really cool, Let's see, what else? Jay says, I barely play with it outside my apartment, so the dock and the charger are always within reach when it runs low in handheld. Francisco Ramos says, it's obviously a way better deal for new buyers, but I've never had battery issues with the old Switch, so I'm not upgrading. Makes me reevaluate what I should buy for my son, though. The Lite or this one? Oh man, decisions. Octoon Jamie says, do either of these new Switches support Wi-Fi AC? I couldn't find any documentation. I would say, Octoon, no. They're not going to support new... the only change to the Switch in any way is it's got a new chipset, a new system on a chip, and that new system on a chip consumes less power when it's doing all of the things that it has to do. That's really the only difference. TV's Travis says, I don't have a Switch, so for me, it would be a no-brainer to get the new one. But I think if you already own one, it's not enough of a change to need an upgrade. And there's a bunch of other replies that are pretty much saying the same thing. Now, before we move on from this, I also had somebody say, or ask me, I think it was in Twitch chat ahead of time, because I was doing just kind of chatting with people ahead of time before I was recording the show. And they asked a question which is now escaping my brain, and I wanted to talk about it on the show, and I can't remember it. So I'm just going to pause for a second and think about it. So we were talking about Nintendo Switch and the Switch versus the Switch Lite. Oh, okay, I remember now. All right. So the thing that we were So before we move on to the next segment, there was one other question that somebody asked in Twitch chat before I started recording the podcast. Do I think that Nintendo will lower the price of the OG Switch to get it out of the market in order to make room for the new one? And I don't see them lowering the price. I think that we're going to have the price stay at exactly the same price. It's not going to change at all. In fact, when you go to the store, you're not going to know which one you're going to get. And that's something that I worry about a little bit. I mean, maybe they will. Maybe they'll have like a sale, like a big sale. And the ones that they have on sale will, like maybe they'll have a combo sale, like with, I mean, this comes out in August, I believe. Let me look real quick because I've forgotten now. It's technical specs. Looking, and yeah, mid-August 2019. So maybe they'll have like a big sale where it's bundled in with a game. But if you're gonna buy one, I don't know if you can tell what the model number is. They have revamped box art. Oh, okay. So Fisto says that they have revamped box art. Okay, that's good. So then you'll know which one that you're getting. I'm gonna have to look and see what does the old box art look like. I'm gonna go to Amazon right now and see what does a Nintendo Switch box art look like. Okay, stop just temporarily. Here we go. So this is what the old box art looks like, I believe, and then the new box art will look like, and for those of you listening to the show, I apologize, but sometimes you're gonna have to go look at the video online. Well, it looks the same to me. I don't really see the difference in the box art. So Fisto, I'm not sure if they have revamped box art. Only time will tell. This story came out this morning, so I'm sure that I'll talk about it more in the future, but I don't see the difference in the box art. But then again, I didn't think to look for that before the show. All right. Other new hardware. We've got other new hardware. It's not just the Nintendo Switch. Hold on. We're going back. Res TV found the box art for me. It looks the same to me. I don't see what the difference is. I'm looking at the box art and it looks the same. Oh, wait. I see it now. Okay. The new ones are all red. Okay, so there we go. That's what it is. Sometimes my brain doesn't see details like that. The new boxes are all red. The old boxes have like white around the corner. So if you're going to go buy a new Switch, make sure that you get the all red box because that's going to get you the better battery life. Thank you very, very much, guys. I did not notice the difference for some reason. My brain just could not put it together. Okay, let's take a quick break from our sponsors. When we come back, we're going to talk about the other hardware that has been released, and then we'll talk about some more news.
Pitfall, a jungle adventure game designed by David Crane from Activision.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We also got new Joy-Cons. We've got a couple of other colors. We've got blue and yellow, and purple and orange. And if you're watching the video over on YouTube or live at Twitch, then you can see them. Otherwise, just go to the show notes and you can see what they look like. They look really cool. I like them a lot. The purple and orange really kind of stand out, but it's like Waluigi purple, and then I don't know what orange this is. How many more colors do we need? I think we need one more. So there's always going to be more colors added, and you know, some people go out and they collect every single one because they like to have all of the different colors. I don't understand that, but you know, if that's what you want to do, then more power to you. All right. So that is all of the hardware related news. Let's talk about some software related news. Nintendo posted a YouTube video entitled Fan Favorites and New Releases for Summer. And at the end of the video, they show off that it's a bunch of stuff that's coming in July, which is cool. They feature Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, Fortnite Season 9, Smash Brothers with the hero from Dragon Quest joining the battle. as well as Fire Emblem and other stuff. But here's the thing, up until now, the only thing that we knew was that the hero was going to come to Dragon Quest this summer. We didn't know when, but they said July in this. So it's currently July 17th. So within the next 10 to 12 days, I think that we're going to have an update to Super Smash Brothers that will include the next Fighter Pass character, which is the hero from Dragon Quest, which I'm pretty excited. I know that there's a lot of people who see this character and they're like, oh, look, it's another it's another sword character. I get you. But, you know, he seems like he plays different than other sword characters. And that's the thing that, you know, Nintendo has done, or Mr. Sakurai has done with the characters in Smash, is they all play pretty different. And I think that that's really awesome. Listen, I talked at the beginning of the show about how Nintendo surprised no one by bringing a new chipset to the OG Switch. Well, they also didn't surprise anyone by making this announcement about Luigi's Mansion 3, which I forgot to add to the show notes. Well, Luigi's Mansion 3 is coming to the Nintendo Switch on Halloween. What a surprise! Are you guys surprised at all that Luigi's Mansion is coming on Halloween? I mean, I didn't specifically say Halloween, but I definitely said October, and I probably said as close to Halloween as possible. It makes perfect sense for this game to be launched on Halloween. I'm definitely going to be picking this game up day one. Well, maybe day two, because I'll be taking my kids trick-or-treating. I'm not going to be at home playing Luigi's Mansion, but I'm going to be playing the hell out of it afterwards, because I love the Luigi's Mansion games, and I am very much looking forward to this one on the Switch. I probably would have, I mean, I beat the original one. I probably would have beat Dark Moon, or whatever it was called, if I could stream my 3DS, because when it came out, or when I was playing it, I was streaming a lot, and I played it and I was like, well, I could be streaming right now, because I always really like to stream the games that I play. So this one I will be streaming, and I'm looking very, very much forward to playing that. But that didn't really surprise anybody, did it? Let's talk about something that did surprise people. This at least surprised me. Nintendo has Nintendo Versus. They tweet out a lot of online multiplayer stuff for Nintendo, and they said that now you can own a physical version of Tetris 99 with all of the latest DLC and a 1-year Nintendo Switch online subscription for $29.99. Grab your copy in stores and start playing on September 6th. So hang on a sec. For $29.99, you get Nintendo Switch Online 12-month individual membership. So that's $20 right there. Okay? And then where's the extra $10 going? Because why wouldn't I just get it for free? That's because the Tetris DLC gets you this for free. So who does this appeal to? It appeals to people who have not yet tried Tetris 99. And those are the people who don't have Nintendo Switch Online yet. So having this on a shelf is brilliant, because there's a lot of people out there who love Tetris and probably haven't tried Tetris 99 because it's an online only game. However, when they see this, they're going to be like, oh man, I remember hearing about Tetris 99 and that it was really good. And guess what? I would say that Tetris 99 is probably worth the cost of Nintendo Switch Online by itself, because it is such a fantastic game. And they keep having these events where you can come back to it and unlock new skins or themes or whatever. It's very, very fun. And, you know, selling this on the shelf is going to alert people to it who otherwise might not know about it. Because not everybody pays attention to, pays as much attention to the video game industry as we do. Res TV says, I hate that the bundle individualized membership codes with these games. You can't redeem them if you have a family plan, even for less time. And that's a good point. So let's say that you already have the family plan. Like me, I already have the family plan. And so they bundle in the what is it again? The individual membership. They bundle in that individual membership. And so if I went to the store and bought this because maybe I wanted to have a physical copy of the game just because as a collector, I kind of am getting screwed on that individual membership because I can't do anything with it. I don't have it. It's just a code for that, but I already subscribed to the family plan. So it just kind of gets thrown away to the ether. I'm not sure what the solution would be. Maybe instead of having it not work at all, maybe it just be for less time. Like, oh, well, this is worth 6 months of family plan time instead of 12 months of individual membership time. I'm not sure how they would figure that out, but it's definitely a problem. However, it's not really a problem for a lot of people. It's for a very small segment of the market that wants to collect every physical game. And I can understand how those people would look at this and be irritated. But for me, this, like, I'm not going to go to the store and buy this. I feel like that's a waste of money. For me, it's a waste of money because I don't care about getting games physically. It's not something that I am excited about or not. Something's got to be pretty special in order for me to go out of my way to get a physical version of anything. So, for instance, like Night Trap, I got the Night Trap version for the Nintendo Switch that came with the VHS tape. It's on the shelf behind me someplace. I don't know where. It's on the shelf behind me, but it came with the VHS tape and the steel case, and the steel case looks like really, really cool. Like, it's amazing. But for me, I'm not going to go to the store and pick up Tetris 99 because it's already on my Switch, because I subscribe to Nintendo Switch Online, so I already have it. I do think that they need to have something on the front of this that is very, very important, that they are very clear with this, is that can you play this after that subscription expires? Probably not. So they should have this on the front. Requires an ongoing subscription to Nintendo on Switch Online in order to continue playing this. I think that would be a very important thing for them to include, and it looks like it's not included on the front anyway. Probably included on the back of the box someplace, but only time will tell. You know, you're gonna have to get your hands on the actual box to find out. Okay, one more story today because we already did the feedback. It is the final Splatfest. Splatoon 2 no longer going to be getting anything outside of balance changes. It's not going to be getting new guns and stuff like that. I think that they've done a great job supporting the game for 2 years. And, you know, we've got the final Splatfest, which is Team Chaos versus Team Order. Feel free to tweet at me and let me know which team you're on. I don't even know if I'm going to play it because I haven't played Splatoon in ages, and it'd just be like I'm just going to get my tail kicked big time. So I don't know if I'm going to bother, but you know, it's all over after this. After this, it's just going to be, okay, we got to fix a balance problem or fix a bug. And, you know, they're going to move on to Splatoon 3. Now, there's been stories floating around that Splatoon 3 is not in development yet. I think that those are kind of bad headlines because the actual quote, well, okay, I don't have the actual quote in front of me, but the actual quote is something along the lines of, we don't have anything to say right now, or we haven't started planning anything yet. But it doesn't say that we're not, or no, they said we're not at that point of the planning yet. So they don't have anything to announce about Splatoon 3. I don't think that they need to bring Splatoon 3 out anytime soon. In fact, they could probably just rest on Splatoon 2 for the rest of the Switch's life cycle, and then bring out Splatoon 3 with whatever the successor to the Switch is, because I think it's better that they make sure that they earn that next number in, after the whatever a number is after something. I can't like, what is it called when there's a number after something? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Let's move on from that. They better earn that number though, because I felt like Splatoon 2 didn't really earn having a number 2 after it. It felt very much like Splatoon 1, and don't get me wrong, I played a hell of a lot of Splatoon 2 and I loved it, but it was just Splatoon 1.5 really. Anyway, let's wrap up the show. We're already at the 30-minute mark. You can become a part of the community over at runjumpstomp.com/discord. You can also watch the show live over at twitch.tv/runjumpstomp. Get a hold of me by emailing me runjumpstomp@gmail.com, or you can reach out to me on Twitter at runjumpstomp. Use the hashtag Nintendo SwitchCraft so I know that you are trying to get a hold of me. If you are looking for ways to support the show, stop by runjumpstomp.com/thank-you. And for more content like this, go to runjumpstomp.com/shows. The music you're hearing right now is Corneria Star Fox remixed by Noteblock. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for hanging out. Bye-bye.